I've got six kids. They keep asking me, Daddy, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? And I just keep telling them Daddy's working away at the minute. I'm just lying to them at the minute because I'm in limbo. Don't want to tell them this and that happened. I don't want to tell them that and this happened. But my eldest is 10. So for me to tell her at the minute that she might never see me again, because that's to go to Jamaica on a flight for all of us, we're talking over 6-7 grand. It might never happen. So for me to just disappear, that will have an effect on them. And so they're trying to deport me to a country where I left nearly 20 years ago. I've got my family here, my immediate family, my home that I call home. For me to go back, I'm going back into the unknown.
We also spoke to Louise, not her real name, the partner of Rupert. Now, he just falls outside the age criteria because he came to the UK when he was 13. Obviously, this draft report talked about before the age of 13. Now, Rupert was convicted for actual bodily harm. This is what Louise had to tell us.
Well, I've known Rupert from 2010 now, so that's commencing 10 years. And yeah, he's the father of my 2 youngest children, stepfather of my other 2 oldest, and they've got a great relationship. Well, I know he's done a crime. He did his time. It's taken a mental effect on me, taken a mental effect on the children. That's not visible to everyone. And I walk outside with a smile on my face all the time. But what they can't see.
Now, the government are not putting up a minister or anyone to publicly comment on this, but what are you hearing behind the scenes?
I think the Home Office would like us to bear in mind 2 things. Firstly, all of these people have been convicted, they say, of very serious offences. And secondly, none of them are British citizens. To which their lawyers say that's the whole point of the Windrush scandal. Their parents and their grandparents were not processed properly, were not given possibly the British citizenship they were entitled to, and had their grandparents and parents got that citizenship, then perhaps some of these people would have had a right or a claim to British citizenship, and then they would not be deported.
Nick, thank you. So what next for those trying to stop Tuesday's flight? Bella Sankey is Director of Detention Action, which helps people caught up in the immigration process and is working with many of those on Tuesday's planned flight. Bella, welcome. I know that some of your staff have been into the detention centre today. What's the atmosphere like there among these people who are supposed to be on that plane?
The atmosphere is incredibly fearful, it's incredibly tense, added to the injustices that I think have been really set out clearly in your package, is the fact that for the last month in the Heathrow detention centres, there's been no access to mobile phone signal. So people have been unable to contact their lawyers, unable to get support from their friends, from their families and loved ones.
Tell us, though, sorry to jump in there, though, that they are handing out SIM cards to make this possible. Is that not working?
It's too little too late. They've handed out a handful of SIM cards on Wednesday evening, but there are 700 people almost in these 2 centres, and we think that the vast majority of them still don't have working phones.
Now, you know that a lot of viewers will have sympathy for their predicament, but a lot of them will say, hang on a minute, these people have had the full benefit of legal process in this country. They've been convicted of serious offences. That includes rape, manslaughter, dealing in Class A drugs. It's over, isn't it? Why shouldn't that plane just leave on Tuesday?
Not at all. These people are more British than Boris Johnson, a lot of them. These people are Brummies, they are Cockneys, they are people that have been here since they were in nappies. So many of my clients are people that have a very clear claim to British identity. A lot of them have children, like the 2 people that you just featured. I've got one client with 6 kids, not been able to tell them that he may be deported. These are people that have been in the UK for all of their childhood and all of their adult life.
Well, this is particularly the younger ones, isn't it, who don't really have, like, a Jamaican identity because they came here as small children. But
so many of them are really young. So many fall into that category. And let's remember, this is a double punishment. No one's condoning criminal activity. No one's saying that it's OK to commit a crime. But when you commit a crime in this country, you serve a criminal sentence. Why should we have a system where someone effectively has a double punishment and is banished from the UK, potentially forever?
But those are the rules, aren't they? If you're on leave to remain and you commit a serious offence, you will be deported after your sentence.
The rules are wrong and the rules are unjust, and that's why your revelation last night was so important, because there's now a very clear recommendation following the scandal of Windrush that says that this should not be happening. The government has got it wrong, has been getting it wrong for a long time. This is now the second government-commissioned report that has said that this power needs to be urgently reviewed because real injustice is taking place. And if I may make one more point, it's not possible, I don't think, to define people purely on the basis of one criminal act that they might have committed. A lot of our clients have been groomed as teenagers into county lines operations. They have been victims of crimes themselves. I have clients that have been victims of sexual abuse. Where is the cutoff? You cannot be defined by the biggest mistake you've ever made or the worst action that you've committed. We should be saying, look, have these people been rehabilitated? What contribution have they got to make to our society?
All right, thank you, Bella. Let's see what happens on Monday.